What if we received a message from aliens? The scenario that could change humanity forever. Are we alone in this vast universe? An existential question that has long plagued humanity and driven it towards the stars. Since time immemorial, and since humans first gazed up at the sky studded with thousands of glittering stars on a dark night, one question has echoed in the depths of our collective consciousness. Are we alone in this infinite universe? Is this pale blue dot we call home the only repository of conscious life? Or are there other worlds teeming with beings, strange civilizations that have evolved over eons, perhaps preceding us by thousands or millions of light years, and perhaps reaching levels of understanding and technology that surpass our boldest imaginations? This profound existential question, which still occupies scientists and philosophers, poets and theologians alike, and echoes in ancient myths as well as in the latest scientific theories, may be on the verge of receiving an answer. An answer that could shake the foundations of our understanding of the world and change the course of humanity forever. Today, this inquiry has moved beyond the realm of philosophical contemplation to become a central focus of serious and systematic scientific research. For many decades, major scientific institutions have been at the front of this cosmic endeavor, most notably the SETI, Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence Project. This pioneering project works tirelessly, directing its giant radio telescope dishes, which serve as colossal ears, listening into the depths of deep space, patiently listening for any cosmic whisper, any abnormal vibration, any signal that might be a signature of an intelligent civilization sending it to us across vast distances. Their noble and eagerly anticipated goal is to capture any artificial signals, any conclusive physical evidence of the existence of other intelligence sharing this infinite universe of galaxies, stars, and planets with us. But let's imagine the pivotal moment. What if these arduous efforts were to succeed? What if all these years of vigilant listening were not in vain? What if we actually received a clear, unambiguous message from extraterrestrial beings? Imagine for a moment that scenario, which would cause an enormous seismic shift on cultural, scientific, religious, and social levels, unprecedented in humanity's long history. This moment, if it comes, would not just be a fleeting scientific discovery added to the pages of books. Rather, it would be a pivotal turning point, a demarcation between an era of cosmic solitude and an era of shared universe. It would reshape our identity as humans and our place in the cosmic fabric. This scenario, though seemingly inspired by the deepest and wildest science fiction stories, is far from being a mere illusion or an impossibility. Instead, it is a real possibility that scientists and researchers are studying with utmost seriousness, developing complex plans and strategies to deal with it at all levels, from international response protocols to philosophical and ethical implications. In this article, we will embark together on a deep and exciting exploratory journey to imagine and explore the astonishing, shocking, and inspiring implications of our anticipated discovery that we are not alone in the universe. How will our view of ourselves as a species, our humble place in existence, and the boundless possibilities that the future may hold for us change? Will we be prepared to face this greatest cosmic challenge? Before responding, how might a message from aliens reach us? Exploring potential communication mechanisms and their deep implications. Before we begin weaving threads of speculation about our human reactions or delving into urgent questions about the identity and intentions of this mysterious message, we must first pose a fundamental and very practical question. A question at the heart of astronomy and astrophysics. How could such a message possibly reach us in the first place? Thinking about these potential communication mechanisms is not just a thought exercise. It opens up vast horizons of exciting scientific speculation and reveals the extent of the logistical and technological complexity of the search for extraterrestrial intelligence and how immense the distances are that separate us from any other civilization. There are several potential and scientifically studied scenarios for how such a signal or message might reach our blue planet, each carrying completely different implications and possibilities.
Mysterious radio signals. Cosmic pulses carrying secrets from the depths of deep space. Radio signals are the most realistic and most intensely researched option by the SETI community worldwide. Why does this mechanism receive so much scientific attention? The answer lies in its ideal physical properties. They travel at the speed of light, making them the fastest known means of transmitting information across vast cosmic distances. They also have a unique ability to penetrate dense cosmic gas and dust clouds, which can impede other forms of electromagnetic radiation with relative effectiveness. Most importantly, they can be generated and detected using technologies that may be available to advanced civilizations, and perhaps even within reach of civilizations slightly less advanced than us. The SETI project focuses intensely on capturing anomalous radio signals, those that cannot, under any circumstances, be explained by natural and familiar astronomical phenomena, such as regularly pulsing stars, black holes emitting radio waves, or planetary nebula, but rather bear an unmistakable signature of artificial intelligence. Perhaps the most famous example of this persistent search, which still sparks debate and perplexity to this day, occurred in 1977. At that historic moment, scientists at Ohio State University's Big Ear telescope detected a radio signal later named WOW due to the immense excitement shown by scientist Jerry Ekman when he saw it on a printout. This signal was remarkably strong, had a very narrow bandwidth, a distinctive characteristic of artificial signals, and lasted for a brief period, all characteristics that perfectly match what scientists expect from an intelligent extraterrestrial signal that might be directed towards us. Despite decades passing since this discovery, this signal has not been conclusively explained or its source identified to this day, making it one of the most puzzling and hopeful cosmic mysteries in the history of the search for extraterrestrial life. The deeper we delve into its analysis, the more we feel it screams that it is not natural. The essential condition for considering a radio signal as conclusive evidence of extraterrestrial intelligence is that it must contain complex mathematical patterns, meaningful repeating symbols, or even complex informational structures that nature cannot produce randomly. These patterns could be numerical sequences, such as the Fibonacci sequence or prime numbers, which are a universal language of mathematics. Simple encoded images, such as a schematic representation of their planet, their solar system, or even the shape of a living being. Or even complex data representing part of an alien language or advanced scientific information about the physics of the universe. The discovery of such an intricate structure within a signal would be unmistakable proof that it originated from a conscious and intelligent civilization seeking to communicate. The challenge of deciphering this code would be the greatest intellectual challenge in human history.
2. Encrypted messages in asteroids or celestial bodies, bottles in the cosmic ocean, awaiting discovery. This scenario takes a more exciting and inspiring turn, feeding ideas that go beyond mere radio signals. Some scientists, driven by the idea that interstellar travel is incredibly difficult and resource-intensive, hypothesize that advanced beings might choose to leave behind static messages or bottles in the cosmic ocean, waiting to be found by nascent civilizations like ours. These messages might not be transient signals, rather they might exist in a physical form, waiting for us to discover and decipher them when we reach a certain level of technological development. Such messages might be cleverly hidden inside massive interstellar asteroids, or unconventionally integrated into the structure of certain celestial bodies, like moons or even small planets, as if they were cosmic data storage devices. And in a bolder and more extreme theory, some go so far as to speculate that such messages might be encoded in some way within human DNA itself, as a kind of cosmic seed of intelligence or genetic instructions planted by an advanced civilization, as a form of long-term communication. The sudden appearance of strange space probes like Oumuamua in 2017 fueled these theories and reignited scientific imagination, even within serious scientific circles. Oumuamua was the first interstellar object observed passing through our solar system after coming from outside it, and its unusual characteristics, its elongated cigar-like shape, and its partially unexplained motion, which seemed to accelerate without clear gravitational influence, led some prominent scientists, such as Professor Avi Loeb from Harvard University, to openly question whether Oumuamua could actually be an alien spacecraft or a piece of alien technology sent for research, monitoring, or even just as a passing message. Although natural explanations remain the most likely and accepted in the scientific community, these unexpected events open the door to considering possibilities not previously thought of, and remind us that the universe may hold surprises beyond our imagination.
3. Direct contact via advanced technology. The visit that changes everything and exceeds all expectations. This scenario is the most dramatic of all, and the most likely to evoke feelings of fear and hope simultaneously. It represents the pinnacle of speculation about extraterrestrial contact. If the alien civilization sending the message is so advanced that it surpasses our current understanding of physics and technology by vast stages, perhaps a Type 2 or Type 3 civilization on the Kardashev scale, it may not suffice to send simple radio signals across space. Instead, it might be capable of sending incredibly sophisticated autonomous robots or super-advanced intelligent probes capable of interstellar travel with unimaginable efficiency, or even fully crewed spacecraft to make direct contact with Earth and its inhabitants. This scenario leaps us from the world of distant signals to the world of real confrontation. Imagine one day, not in the pages of a wild science fiction novel or on a movie screen, but in urgent news broadcasts that sweep across the entire world and bring life to a standstill. A mysterious and completely unfamiliar spacecraft landing on one of our planet's plains or appearing in its orbit. This craft might not carry living beings in the sense we know them, but might instead be a highly advanced robot designed to be an ambassador between the stars, or a translator of cosmic languages, or an exploratory scanner collecting information about our planet. These probes or robots might carry a completely clear message, or astonishingly advanced technology beyond our comprehension, or even deep cosmic knowledge that could change our understanding of the universe, existence, and nature itself. This type of contact, although the least likely at present given the enormous challenges of interstellar travel, remains the most impactful and transformative scenario for humanity ever, because it would force us to face the reality of the other's existence face to face.
The global shock, between absolute denial and utter amazement. Immediately following this cosmic news, humanity will experience an unprecedented global shock in its long history. Reactions at the individual and societal levels will not be unified at all, but will range from the extreme of absolute denial to the deepest levels of thought-paralyzing astonishment. Denial and radical skepticism. In the first moments following the announcement, a very large segment of people, perhaps the majority, will absolutely refuse to believe this seemingly impossible news. They will immediately consider it a major hoax or a complex and organized government conspiracy aimed at manipulating public opinion, or merely a massive and elaborate media campaign to distract from internal political or economic issues.
Conspiracy theories will spread like wildfire across social media and forums, fueled by the deep-seated skepticism among some segments towards authorities, scientific institutions, and media. These skeptics will question the evidence, demand greater transparency, and more precise details. And it may even escalate to calls for noisy protests against what they see as mass deception or brainwashing. Religious beliefs under the cosmic microscope. The impact on religious institutions and the spiritual and philosophical beliefs of individuals will be incredibly profound and radical. Religious people around the world, of all backgrounds and denominations, will question the impact of this momentous revelation on their deeply rooted core beliefs. Did the Holy Scriptures mention the existence of extraterrestrial beings? How does the existence of other advanced intelligent life conform to religious narratives that often center around humans as special creations, or the center of creation, or the essence of the universe? Some religions may find in this an affirmation of the Creator's greatness and the infinite expanse of His creation, and a new vision of His signs spread throughout the cosmos. Others, however, may face an enormous challenge to their fundamental teachings in sacred texts, which could lead to sharp theological schisms or even deep individual and collective faith crises affecting billions of people. Religious leaders will strive to interpret this cosmic event from the perspective of their doctrines, and we may witness unprecedented dialogues and profound philosophical discussions between scientists and religious leaders in an attempt to reformulate humanity's understanding of existence. The greatest scientific race in human history. As for the scientific community, the moment will be the launch of an unprecedented global race in human history, a race that surpasses in importance any previous arms race or space race. Scientists will enter a frantic and arduous race to decipher the message, analyze every byte of data it may contain, and every pulse and every symbol. Enormous budgets will be allocated immediately, and huge cross-continental international task forces will be established comprising the brightest and most brilliant minds in complex mathematics, astrophysics, computer science, advanced linguistics, cryptography, and even cryptographia, in order to understand the context of the message. The first and foremost goal will be to understand precisely what the message says, and then to try to ascertain the true intentions of the senders. Is it a purely exploratory message, a clear invitation to communicate, a warning of an impending danger, or simply a statement of their existence and a mark they leave in the universe? This task will be the greatest intellectual and technological challenge humanity has ever faced. A challenge that may take years or even decades, but it will open the door to vast knowledge.
2. Is the message peaceful or a threat? The question that will determine the fate of all human civilization. After the initial shock and the momentum of deciphering, the most important and urgent question, which will determine the fate of human civilization, will be the nature of the message itself, its true content, and, most importantly, the intentions of its senders. Does it carry absolute good or ultimate evil? Beginning of a peaceful cosmic relationship and building bridges of cooperation. If the message contains universal mathematical equations that any intelligent civilization can understand, or easily interpretable geometric patterns, or clear and universally understood peaceful greetings, or even advanced scientific information that can be verified and applied, this could signal the beginning of an unprecedented cooperative relationship between humanity and another extraterrestrial civilization. This message could spark a massive wave of hope and optimism that will sweep the world, confirming that humans are not alone in this vast universe and that there are unlimited possibilities for learning and knowledge exchange that surpass any previous conceptions. Planning for a response will begin with extreme caution and how to build peaceful and sustainable bridges of communication, perhaps by sending symbolic embassies into space. Fear of the unknown and widespread panic threatening stability.
On the other hand, and this is the most terrifying scenario, if the message contains an implicit threat of danger, or an explicit warning of some kind, or even just incomprehensible signals that cause deep suspicion and anxiety due to their strange nature or intensity, humanity could enter a state of uncontrollable mass panic. Chaos will spread in some areas, and mass migration waves may occur from major cities that might be considered potential targets, and social and economic systems may collapse in some places struck by extreme panic. Governments will try to contain the panic by all means, but the task will be extremely difficult in the absence of sufficient information about the other party. This scenario recalls the warnings of some prominent scientists, such as the renowned theoretical physicist Stephen Hawking, who repeatedly warned against attempting to contact aliens. Hawking believed that very advanced civilizations, which have the ability to send such messages, may have depleted the resources of their home planets, and may be expansionist and aggressive by nature, seeking new resources or territories for settlement. Therefore, any contact could be an announcement of our existence to potential enemies, just as the indigenous peoples of America faced European explorers who brought destruction. These deep fears will be strongly present in global discussions and influence every decision made.
3. The technological revolution. Will we leap centuries ahead overnight? Regardless of the sender's intentions, their mere existence and the fact of their ability to send a message across vast space in a way that we can intercept and decipher necessarily mean that they possess technology that far surpasses ours, perhaps by hundreds or thousands of years. This leads us to the most awe-inspiring and terrifying question at the same time. What can we learn from them? The great civilizational leap. If the message reveals advanced technology we haven't known before, or entirely new scientific principles that unlock the mysteries of current physics, such as infinite clean energy sources derived from vacuum energy or black holes, or unprecedented ways to treat and dissect intractable and hopeless diseases like cancer and aging, or, more importantly, principles for superluminal interstellar travel that break the barriers of space and time known to us, humanity could leap centuries ahead in a very short period. All industries would be fundamentally transformed, lifestyles would change radically, and we might witness the end of problems like pollution, poverty, chronic diseases, and energy scarcity, opening entirely new eras for human exploration of the universe and perhaps colonization of other planets. This would mean an unprecedented industrial and scientific revolution. Cosmic technological arms race. Conversely, this great opportunity for progress could turn into a source of bitter conflict and competition. As soon as any advanced technology begins to be deciphered, governments and global powers will fiercely compete to understand and apply this technology first to enhance their influence. The race for alien technology will become the most important race in the world, and this could lead to a fierce new Cold War or even armed conflicts over resources and control of alien information and technologies. Every nation will try to monopolize this knowledge to enhance its military and economic power, threatening already fragile global peace and perhaps pushing humanity to the brink. 4. Impact on the global economy and politics. Redrawing the map of cosmic power and influence. The magnitude of the event and its existential implications will completely reshape the global economic and political landscape, perhaps forever. Financial market disruption, then new prosperity. In the first days and weeks after the announcement, global financial markets may temporarily collapse dramatically due to the panic and absolute uncertainty that will hang over the fate of humanity. Investors will question the value of everything in light of this profound existential change. But once the initial shock is absorbed, shares of space companies, advanced technology, artificial intelligence, advanced materials, and new energy companies will experience a crazy and unprecedented surge.
Attention will shift entirely towards space exploration and the development of technologies inspired by the message, which will create a massive new economic bubble in these sectors and radically redirect global investments. Formation of cosmic committees with unprecedented powers. There will be an urgent need for a unified and supreme international entity to deal with this unprecedented event. The United Nations is likely to immediately form an extraterrestrial contact committee or a supreme cosmic contact authority with broad and unprecedented powers. Its mission will be to coordinate humanity's unified response to the message, establish strict protocols for dealing with the alien civilization, and ensure that our response is as thoughtful, responsible, and unified as possible. This committee will wield global influence that may surpass that of any previous international organization. Fierce geopolitical conflicts over contact. However, things will not be this simple and ideally cooperative. Major countries and global powers, such as the United States, China, Russia, and the European Union, will strive to control the communication and deciphering process and exploit alien technology for their sole benefit. This fierce competition for the key to the universe could cause sharp and intense geopolitical conflicts, escalating international tensions to unprecedented levels, which could weaken the critically necessary global cooperation at such a historic moment and threaten to divide humanity instead of uniting it. Whoever holds the key to alien communication and knowledge will possess immense power on the cosmic stage.
How should we respond to the message? Humanity's great cosmic dilemma and the true test of our intelligence. After humanity awakens from its initial resounding shock, and after our best minds succeed in deciphering the alien message, or at least understanding its essence and potential intentions, we will face the most important, complex, and controversial question in our entire history. How should we respond to this message that has come to us from the depths of the universe? And should we even respond at all in the first place? This is not just a scientific or technical decision that a team of experts can make in an isolated room. Rather, it is an existential decision that touches the core of our identity, determines our destiny as a species, and will occupy political, religious, ethical, and general public circles alike, becoming the subject of an unprecedented global debate in its ferocity and complexity. The nature of our response, or our decision not to respond, will reveal much about our maturity as a cosmic civilization. 1. Should we respond at all? The heated debate between extreme caution and unyielding cosmic curiosity. As soon as this question is posed, the entire world will be divided into two main camps, each holding a completely different vision for humanity's future in the universe, and presenting strong and convincing arguments that seem logical from their own perspective. Advocates of absolute caution. Silence is our shield. Never respond. The silent watchers and cosmic prudence advocates. This camp includes an elite group of scientists, thinkers, and opinion leaders who believe in the necessity of exercising the utmost caution. They are based on the warnings of brilliant figures such as the late theoretical physicist Stephen Hawking, who saw contact with an alien civilization as akin to Columbus meeting the Native Americans, with catastrophic results for the less developed party. Their main argument is that any civilization with the technological capability to send a message to us across vast distances, spanning thousands or millions of light years, is necessarily a highly advanced civilization, perhaps having passed through stages of technological and biological evolution far beyond our current understanding. These civilizations may have exhausted the resources of their home planets, or may be living in a resource-limited universe, driving them to seek new resources across the stars. Or perhaps they are expansionist by nature and view less developed civilizations, like us, as opportunities for exploitation, colonization, or even a threat that must be eliminated. Contacting them could be a direct announcement of our existence and precise geographical location to these cosmic giants, exposing us to an imminent and unexpected danger for which we may not be prepared. These fears are embodied in science fiction works that depict terrible cultural misunderstandings, such as the film Arrival, which highlights the complexities of communication and the risks of misunderstanding that could lead to conflict. Or darker films like War of the Worlds, which embody the nightmare that could result from contact with hostile beings. For these, deliberate cosmic silence is our only shield, and maintaining our identity as an undiscovered planet is the best long-term survival strategy. They may call for a strict global ban on any signal transmission into space.
Enthusiastic contact advocates. The opportunity must be seized. Let's build bridges. The cosmic explorers and optimistic connectors. In stark contrast, a large other group, especially enthusiastic scientists, thinkers, and many ordinary people, will push for an immediate and deliberate response. They see this moment not as a danger, but as a historic opportunity that occurs only once in the history of civilization, to explore the universe and learn from a more advanced civilization that may hold the keys to solutions for humanity's most pressing problems, from the climate change crisis to energy scarcity and intractable, incurable diseases. They argue that if aliens possess the necessary technology to reach us and send a message, they must have passed through the civilizational bottleneck that could lead to self-destruction, such as nuclear wars or environmental disasters, and thus are likely to have reached a stage of wisdom and mutual understanding. They may not necessarily be enemies, but rather peaceful explorers, wise teachers, or even beings seeking friendly communication. In addition, some may believe that human signals from radio and television broadcasts have already reached space for several decades, and thus our existence may already be exposed to any advanced alien civilization, and a deliberate and controlled response is the only option to shape the future relationship rather than leaving it to chance. Not responding could be like closing the door on a golden age of knowledge, cultural exchange, and cosmic cooperation that could elevate humanity to a whole new civilizational level. 2. What do we write in the message? Designing humanity's ID card for the infinite universe. Once the historic decision to respond is made, another dilemma arises, no less complex and important. What do we put in this unique cosmic message? How do we represent humanity in all its diversity and complexity, its long history of conflicts and achievements, its sciences, arts, hopes, and fears, in a data package that a completely alien civilization can understand and interpret without misunderstanding? Mathematical equations and fundamental physics, the universal language of the universe, and the first key to communication. This is considered the cornerstone of any attempt at communication between different civilizations. One of the most common and safest suggestions is to start with a truly universal language that does not require cultural translation, mathematics, and fundamental physics. We can send sequences of prime numbers, which cannot form randomly, or simple physical concepts such as Planck's constant, the speed of light, the definition of a hydrogen atom, or the laws of gravity. This information is a common language for any intelligent civilization, regardless of its form or biology, and provides a strong and reliable common ground for mutual understanding before moving on to more complex concepts. The equations of the universe are the same everywhere, and they are the basic building block of all advanced civilizations. We can start with illustrative diagrams of these concepts using simple binary encoding. Information about humanity and Earth. Who are we? Where are we? And how do we live? After the mathematical and physical basics, the message can contain more detailed information about humanity and Earth, but in a neutral and purely scientific way, free of any complex cultural connotations or biased values. The message might include:
our precise location in the galaxy and solar system, using pulsars as reference, which are cosmic lighthouses that illuminate space with regular and known frequencies, allowing any civilization to accurately pinpoint our location, as was done by the Pioneer and Voyager probes. The chemical composition of our atmosphere and the planet's water, to provide an idea of our environment. The genetic composition of our DNA, to clarify our basic shared biology as living beings on Earth. General information about planet Earth, such as its size, mass, orbit, geological composition, climate, and water resources. Current Earth population and its geographical distribution, to provide an idea of the size of our civilization and our population density. A brief and objective overview of our evolutionary history or some major events in our history, with a focus on major scientific achievements and the evolution of complex life. The goal is to provide a comprehensive and objective picture of our identity, while avoiding any information that might be interpreted as hostile, colonial, or a weakness inviting attack. The message must be supported by simple images and diagrams that can be read universally. Art and music, the pulse of the human soul and cultural expression. Aside from abstract science and dry data, some argue for the importance of including works of art, musical pieces, sound recordings of nature, such as animal sounds, waves, wind, or images from our cultural heritage that reflect aspects of our rich culture and the beauty of our planet. This idea may seem impractical or of low priority compared to scientific information, but it represents a unique dimension of human consciousness, the ability to create, express complex emotions, and appreciate beauty. Sending a Beethoven symphony or an image of a universal artwork like the Mona Lisa, or even the sounds of children laughing, could offer aliens a glimpse into our human spirit that equations alone cannot express, and could be a bridge for emotional and cultural understanding, showing that we are not just logical beings, but beings with an artistic and aesthetic sense. These elements would lend a deep human character to the message.
3. Who will speak for Earth? The challenge of cosmic representation and unifying humanity's voice. This is not just a protocol or logistical question. Rather, it is a highly complex political, ethical, and philosophical question that will reveal the extent of our unity as a species. Who will possess the immense authority and responsibility to speak on behalf of all humanity to a cosmic civilization? And who will decide the content of this historic message? Great powers and the potential competition for cosmic leadership. In our current world, where great powers compete for influence and control, an internal struggle is likely to arise over who has the right to respond. Will the United States, as a leading space power with a long history of space exploration, be the first to claim this right? Or China, with its increasing space ambitions and growing technological capabilities? Or Russia, with its historical experience in the space race? This competition may reflect terrestrial geopolitical conflicts on a magnified scale, weakening humanity's unified stance before a cosmic civilization that may be observing us closely. Each country will try to prove its technological capability and intellectual leadership, and may try to impose its own vision for the response. This could lead to chaos and perhaps the sending of contradictory messages, complicating aliens' understanding of us.
The United Nations and the Global Delegation, a unified voice for humanity. The optimal and most internationally acceptable solution to preserve humanity's unity at this crucial moment would be through the United Nations. In this case, a high-level and unprecedented global delegation could be formed, representing all cultures, nations, races, religions, and specializations on Earth. This delegation must include not only prominent scientists and seasoned politicians, but also philosophers, theologians, artists, musicians, historians, and anthropologists, to ensure that the message is comprehensive, balanced, and expressive of the essence of humanity as one species with a complex history and rich culture, and not just one nation or a specific interest group. The selection of the members of this delegation will be a very complex process, requiring unprecedented international consensus. But it is essential to present a unified and mature image of our civilization. This delegation will serve as Earth's ambassador to the cosmos. Technical and temporal challenges of response. Even after the decision is made and the message is designed, there are still enormous technical challenges. How will the message be sent? Will it be a powerful radio signal directed to the original source of the message? And how long will it take to arrive? If the source of the message is hundreds or thousands of light years away, the response could take the same amount of time to reach them, and thus the dialogue could extend for thousands of years, which exceeds the lifespan of individual civilizations. This requires very long-term thinking and planning for future generations, and an understanding that the message is not for a civilization existing now, but for later generations of that civilization. This delegation will serve as Earth's ambassador to the cosmos.
Are we ready for this great cosmic encounter? Humanity's existential moment of truth. The idea of communicating with extraterrestrial beings is not merely a product of daydreams or material for far-fetched science fiction movies. Rather, it is a real scientific possibility that is becoming more tangible with every new astronomical discovery brought to us by the James Webb Space Telescope or any of our space and ground observatories. If it does indeed happen, and the predictions come true, it will undoubtedly be the greatest event in human history ever, a major turning point to the extent that it will divide human time into before and after the cosmic message. This moment will redefine everything we believe about ourselves, our place in the universe, and the purpose of our existence. But this encounter, despite its boundless excitement and seemingly endless horizon, carries countless risks and existential challenges we have never faced before, placing humanity before an unparalleled ethical, scientific, and political test. On the positive side, and with the hopes attached, the prospects for benefit seem limitless, promising a golden age of human progress. We may witness unprecedented scientific and technological advancements that will propel humanity light years ahead within a few decades instead of thousands of years. The civilization that sent the message may possess radical solutions to our stubborn problems that have long plagued us, from sustainable clean energy sources that free us from fossil fuels and their pollution, to the cure for intractable and hopeless diseases like cancer and Alzheimer's, and even unlocking the secrets of superluminal interstellar travel that breaks the barriers of time and space known to us. We may find in their message definitive answers about the origin of life on Earth and in the universe, how it began, and whether it is an inevitable process everywhere. New physical laws we never dreamed of may become clear to us, opening horizons for a deeper understanding of reality. And most importantly, a deep and shared sense of cosmic connection may emerge, ending our intellectual and philosophical isolation in this vast space, and opening limitless horizons for cooperation and knowledge exchange with other civilizations, which may finally unite humanity in the face of common cosmic challenges, and push us to overcome our small worldly differences.
However, on the negative side, and with the lurking fears, the challenges are significant and realistic and call for the utmost caution. The risk of invasion or exploitation stands out as a potential and terrifying scenario, especially if that alien civilization is seeking new resources to colonize or is striving to expand into other parts of the universe due to resource scarcity. The sudden announcement of our existence could lead to widespread global panic, threatening social and economic stability on an unprecedented scale and fueling widespread chaos in the world's cities.
And within humanity itself, sharp and horrifying conflicts over power and influence may erupt over who has the right to deal with this civilization or benefit from its acquired technologies. Cosmic knowledge, which is supposed to be a light, may turn into a tool for conflict and competition instead of cooperation, increasing our divisions and weakening our position as a species, and exposing us to internal danger before external danger. Lack of preparation could push us to repeat the mistakes of human history, but this time on a cosmic level. Ultimately, the real fundamental question that echoes in the minds of every thinker is, are we mature enough as a civilization to handle this great discovery? Have we overcome our internal differences, our extremism, and our small wars sufficiently to present a unified and cohesive front to the universe? Do we have enough wisdom to deal with knowledge that may fundamentally change our understanding of ourselves, our role, and the world around us without destroying us? Perhaps the honest and only answer to these urgent existential questions depends on the moment the first truly unambiguous message arrives. That historic moment will be when humanity is truly tested on its readiness to face its greatest cosmic destiny. Until then, curiosity remains our primary driver, and hope for the unknown future is our companion on the journey to find an answer to the question, are we alone?